This is a long time coming. We will have one wing specific for youth who are experiencing homelessness, aged 13 to 17.
The Hope Center Shelters in Yakima has cut the ribbon. Our Riley Fitzgerald will take us inside. Also in prime time and in Yakima, the Board of Commissioners asking today that their coroner resign. We'll tell you why. Plus, we are on your side with information about Washington State's Initiative 2109. Monique Ledesma will have that story. And Stacy's here.
And we had a beautiful Monday. We hit 80 degrees, but things are changing. I'll give you all the details coming up.
This is Apple Valley News Now, prime time on your side.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us after the game. I'm Austin Reed. Welcome to a new week. First up this evening, Rod's House celebrated the grand opening of its Hope Center shelters in Yakima. They are the first licensed facilities in the area to provide year-round shelter for those experiencing unsheltered, unsafe, or unhealthy living conditions. Our Riley Fitzgerald tells us how these shelters will impact the lives of youth and young adults in the Yakima Valley.
Rod's House's Hope Center shelters are meant to be a safe haven for young people. This solution is meant to help solve the complex and unfortunately frequent problem of youth homelessness.
It's very high. I myself experienced youth homelessness, so I know that it goes unnoticed. We are super excited to be able to provide that safe space for, a lot of the youth here who are couch surfing or maybe doubled up with friends or family.
It's two separate facilities for youth and young adults, but in the same big building. People aged 13 to 24 are welcome to access the resources available, including a supportive environment, access to services like housing support, mental health care, educational resources, and substance use disorder support.
I hope that they can take with them life skills, that they can be empowered to be themselves, and that they know that somebody's always in their corner.
For youth, the state mandates no more than 30-day stays. There is then aftercare services for as long as they're needed, with no timeline. Young adults can stay up to 120 days.
They deserve a place that offers hope, that supports them to thrive, and that allows a safe place to lie their head, get a meal, and where they're seen and appreciated for who they are and for what they can be.
A key piece in supporting the teens and young adults will be the staff present. There are dedicated case management and behavioral staff available on-site 24/7 for support and guidance.
We've established an office in state government for youth homelessness. We've increased our investment from $1 million to about $10 million, and we've seeded investments like this across the state of Washington. As a result of those investments, I am very pleased to say that we have reduced youth homelessness in the last several years in the state of Washington by 40%. That is a major achievement. It's something we can celebrate.
There are 8 beds for youth and 10 for young adults at the Rod's House Hope Center shelters, hoping to make a difference in the lives of young people in Yakima. In Yakima, Riley Fitzgerald, Apple Valley News Now.
The Hope Center shelters located at 1011 East Chestnut Avenue in Yakima. Rod's House officials say they are working on hiring a few more behavioral health care staff, and the dual facility should be open by January. Other news tonight, the Yakima County Board of Commissioners voting to sign a letter requesting coroner Jim Curtis resign from his office immediately. This comes as Curtis is under investigation for tampering with evidence, making false statements, and official misconduct. Authorities say he claimed for several weeks someone tried to poison him with drugs. However, police say they have evidence that he made the story up. The letter from the commissioners says that the board no longer trusts Curtis and his abilities to perform his duty as coroner. Commissioner Amanda McKinney says she believes this is the right step.
I believe that because there is, rather unfortunately, such a distrust at times in government and elected officials, that when there is activity that happens or behaviors that are demonstrated that have caused the public's confidence to falter, that it is our responsibility to call those out.
All commissioners approved the letter. To learn more about the information behind the investigation into Curtis, we have a link right now on our website, applevalley.newsnow.com, where you can catch up. Well, we saw some wind just within the last couple of hours. It's a brand new week. We also saw some warm weather today. Will that continue, though? First Alert, Stacey Lee joining us live from our Weather Center with a first look at our forecast. Hey there, Stacey.
And a big no, Austin. It's not going to continue, unfortunately. Yes, it was beautiful today. Got a little windy for a bit, but things have died down. Winds are light right now, 3 miles per hour. 67 degrees on our Dust Devil Sky Cam, looking over the lights of Pasco tonight. So things are on a big trend downward. Our temperatures right now around the area, remember we were 80 degrees for our daytime high today. We're already down in the 60s. We'll be dropping down into the 40s, just barely 50 degrees. Here's the weather pattern for the next couple of days. Wet on the west side, then we'll start to see some showers move in on this cold front as it moves to the east, and eventually those showers making it here to the eastern portion of Washington. Tonight's overnight lows, again, 40s and 50s, like I said, 49 Tri-Cities, 50 Walla Walla, 46 Sunnyside, 50 in Yakima. So here's what's coming up tonight. Again, calm, pretty cool night out there. Showers and breezy winds. Tomorrow, the lighter showers. Wednesday, breezier winds and heavier showers through the area. Plus, we're going to see much cooler temps. Our daytime highs dropping down into the 50s, and our first substantial mountain snow coming our way. I'll tell you how much and where that's going to impact coming up here in just a few minutes. Austin?
Well, the southern portion of the United States is still recovering from 2 devastating hurricanes. A Red Cross spokesperson from the state of Washington says thousands of volunteers, including people from our region, are helping people impacted by the storms. Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen brings us up to date on where things stand and what supplies are needed.
According to Red Cross spokesman Todd Beener, volunteers are serving meals, helping with medical supplies, and just being a shoulder to lean on. President Biden has already been touring the region to take a look at what has been affected. Miles and miles of devastation across the state of Florida from Hurricane Milton. President Biden getting a first-hand look at the destruction.
We're going to do everything we can to get power back in your homes, not only helping you recover, but to help you build back stronger.
Biden surveying the hardest hit areas Sunday and promising assistance to the Sunshine State, announcing $94 million in federal programs, meeting with state and local officials in St. Petersburg.
It's in moments like this we come together to take care of each other, not as Democrats or Republicans, but as Americans. Americans who need help.
Beener says the Red Cross is in need of all types of blood. He says the Red Cross already shipped blood to the Southeast, and they need to fill up the blood supply in the Pacific Northwest.
More blood is going to be needed in the Southeast in the coming days, weeks, and months. So the donation effort for blood needs to continue as we head deeper into this fall.
Beener says another way of helping is financial. He says those contributions go towards sending volunteers to help with food and places to stay. As for the Southeast U.S., hundreds of thousands still without power as crews work around the clock to restore electricity in impacted communities. Gas is also a concern.
Without gas since Wednesday, it's terrible. You go down like one road, one gas station's open, and there's lines on both sides.
Long lines of cars stretch throughout the streets of St. Petersburg, with people desperate to find fuel not only for their cars, but also for their generators. More gas deliveries arriving to try to keep up with demand. Florida Governor DeSantis deploying 2,800 workers to remove debris over the next 90 days. Work also covered by federal funds.
We got approved for what we wanted.
One man says after a transformer exploded outside his home, he wasn't sticking around.
We got to get out of here. My wife grabbed the baby and we ended up coming out of the garage. I had to pull the emergency thing and just kind of throw it up, and then we hauled Bud out of here.
Red Cross is always in need of volunteers and donations. If you want to donate, you can either go to their website or in person to donate, and you can also learn how to volunteer as well. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
New information now in the fight against the Tiger Creek fire burning near Milton Freewater. The fire remains at 534 acres, but containment has increased to 73%, with 348 firefighting resources still assigned. Crews say they have achieved containment on the low Creek Ridge portion of the fire in steep and difficult terrain. Line construction is also now complete, and hose lays are being removed in areas of containment.
Everything's looking good on the fire. We've changed our control objectives to keeping the fire within the existing perimeter, so we don't expect any further spread. Maybe a couple of little rollouts out here in the Division Echo area sometime, but nothing major expected. The weather and fire behavior expected for the next 3 to 5 days is very moderating.
Road crews have also repaired and improved Mill Creek Road, as well as the bridge leading to the fire area. Road repair will continue up the 65 road to the fire over the next several days. The fire danger forecast for Benton County residents is now moderate, and that's until further notice. Officials do point out, though, that no residential burning is permitted within the various city limits and their adjacent areas. For deeper clarification regarding burning restrictions, do contact the Benton Clean Air Agency. Other news now in Yakima, the City Council proclaiming this past Saturday, October 12th, to be Staff Sergeant Jack J. Pendleton Day in the city of Yakima. The council says it is for his heroism as Yakima's only Medal of Honor recipient. VFW Post 379 also held a ceremony on Saturday morning at Tahoma Cemetery to mark the 80th anniversary of his brave actions. Apple Valley News now in prime time is just getting started. Still ahead, today is Indigenous Peoples Day, and our Toby Solvang will explain the local connection. Plus, listen up parents, Roth ID tags are now available for residents in one part of our viewing area. And as we leave you to break, a live picture from Yakima. Stacy's up next with your full new work week weather forecast. Stay tuned.
Across our state, we have roads and bridges in desperate need of repair. But Initiative 2117 would make things even worse, slashing funding for infrastructure, putting all of us at risk. 2117 is a bad deal for Washington.
For 17 years, Senator Curtis King has delivered for you. That's why the media calls Curtis King the Republican in Olympia most likely to pass a bill. Senator King helped fund the Sozo Soccer Complex, giving local youth and adult soccer players a world-class recreational facility. Curtis King helped Perry Tech expand, providing thousands of local students with real-world skills, and he delivered funding for dozens of local road projects.
I'm Curtis King, and I'd appreciate your vote.
When uncertainty falls upon your freedom, you need an unwavering champion. We're dedicated to not just tipping the scales in your favor, but also delivering an unwavering and relentless defense. With over 5 decades of experience, we'll fiercely defend your freedom and secure the most favorable outcome. Your best defense, Quantum Legal.
First, record inflation slammed middle-class families.
Now, Jared Sessler backs a 30% sales tax on everything you buy.
Everything.
And Sessler wants taxes and fees to make meat and sugar more expensive.
I could never vote for Jared Sessler.
He wants to decide what we should eat.
That hurts our farmers and our families. Jared Sessler's sales tax and fees.
More expensive for you.
And unacceptable for Central Washington.
I'm Dan Newhouse, and I approve this message.
Women, were you exposed to dactyl while you were pregnant? Infant birth defects are caused by this toxic weed killer used in farming, landscaping, and gardening. As a result, the EPA has asked agricultural workers to stop using dactyl, also known as DCPA. If you or your child was injured by dactyl, protect your rights for compensation. Call Weitz and Luxembourg today at 917-LAWYERS to learn more. That's 917-LAWYERS.
Apples are the pride of Washington's agricultural economy. When India put on the retaliatory tariff, we were basically dead in the market. Thanks to Maria Cantwell stepping in and getting that tariff removed, we're up to 2 million boxes and we're climbing steadily. It's a huge difference for the industry. Maria Cantwell is effective because she works with both parties to get things done for our industry.
I'm Maria Cantwell, and I approve this message because I'll keep taking on powerful interests to get things done.
For us, protecting the land means everything. It's our homestead and legacy. But Initiative 2117 puts our air and water at risk, and cuts to transportation funding will make it harder to move products. 2117 is a bad deal for Washington.
Aren't you just a spoonful of sugar?
Young Sheldon, tonight at 11:05, Apple Valley News Now.
Thanks for staying with us on Apple Valley News Now in prime time. The Umatilla County Sheriff's Office says Roth ID tags are now available at the Umatilla County Sheriff's Office offices in both Pendleton and Hermiston. Officials say they will begin to distribute tags locally to area agencies within the next few weeks. The ID tag is an emergency identification tool that first responders can use during a traumatic incident when a minor or person that has become incapacitated and cannot communicate. The tag can also be attached to a child's car seat. Additional information includes medical information, a child's first language, or speech limitations. We have a crime alert for you tonight. The Walla Walla Regional Drug Gang Task Force and the Walla Walla Police Department needs the public's help in finding the remaining missing firearms after a burglary last week on October 7th. Officials tell Apple Valley News Now that they attempted to find the stolen firearms, but several are still missing. Law enforcement is asking for any assistance, no matter how small, that could help officials find the guns. Now to an update on a missing person in Grant County. Authorities say Richard Smith, the fisherman who has been missing since October 3rd, has been located. Authorities say Smith's body was recovered from O'Sullivan Reservoir Sunday afternoon. They say they found the body after it came to the surface near where the tackle box and other gear was found last weekend. The sheriff's office says it notified Smith's family. They also want to recognize a diver, Corey Cooper, along with his colleagues, who actually traveled from Western Washington and spent several hours over 2 days searching the waters. Everything so far points to Richard Smith's death being accidental, but the final cause of death will be determined at a later date. Imagine you're 80 years old, you're supporting your family alone, and you get your hours cut. Well, that happened to a Wenatchee man. And a coworker of his named Lucky Farr tells us the man named Michael came up to her and asked if the place next door to where they work is hiring. She asked him why, and he told her that he needed a second job to pay his rent. Farr tells us since Michael is from France, he wasn't able to get enough in Social Security to pay the bills. Farr said this story pulled at her heartstrings, so she started posting on TikTok telling people about the story. She's also started a GoFundMe to help.
I think it goes deeper than just people who know him. I think everybody knows somebody in his situation, and it's pulling at everybody's heartstrings. You know, everybody knows some old person in the work field because their Social Security doesn't pay enough.
Right now, the GoFundMe sits at more than $45,000. Another local GoFundMe to tell you about has been organized. This for a young man who was involved in a motorcycle accident last night in Pasco. The family says the rider was driving down Road 44 when a vehicle drove out on Desert Plateau Drive and right onto Road 44. The man flew 50 feet off his bike and landed on the pavement. Doctors say they will either have to amputate his leg or the rider will have to go through extensive surgeries to restore the leg. To find the GoFundMe page, just head to our website, applevalleynewsnow.com. Today is Indigenous Peoples Day and also Columbus Day, which is the federally recognized holiday. Indigenous Peoples Day, although still not a federal holiday, was officially recognized in 2021. Apple Valley News Now's Toby Solving explains how local tribes feel about the day.
According to the Smithsonian Magazine, the movement to change Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day started with a proposal in 1977 at the United Nations International Conference on Discrimination. We have some of the most prominent evidence of indigenous people right here in our own backyard. Near the Dalles Dam on the Columbia River, there are petroglyphs and pictographs from long before any white man arrived. The park rangers say that for tens of thousands of years, indigenous people from all over North America gathered at Celilo Falls to trade for its abundant salmon harvests. It was one of the biggest trading posts in North America. Many tribes left their marks as petroglyphs and pictographs in the basalt walls around Celilo Falls, and there are some on display at Horse Thief Lake Park in Lyle, Washington, near the Dalles. These rock slabs were removed for preservation by the Army Corps of Engineers in 1957, before the Dalles Dam closed its gates and flooded the valley, including native villages. The park rangers say that it's estimated that there are 3 times as many petroglyphs submerged in what is now Celilo Lake, the reservoir behind the Dalles Dam. The pictographs at Horsethief Lake are thought to be about 350 years old. The most well-known one is called She Who Watches. As the story is told by local tribes, the pictograph is of a treasured female chief who was concerned about what would happen to her people when she was gone. So she's still keeping watch over them. Indigenous Peoples Day is now being observed by many natives and non-natives. It's been adopted as a holiday by many cities and states, and there's still a push to make it a federally recognized holiday. The park rangers say this is all with the hope that relations can be rebuilt. Toby Solvang, Apple Valley News Now.
All right, Toby, thank you for that. Before we check in with Stacy, get this, nearly 45 million Americans are now under frost and freeze alerts through this Wednesday. The National Weather Service forecasts the temps will dip into the 20s and 30s, bringing the coldest air since spring to parts of central and eastern U.S. Portions of 20 states will be impacted, including the cities of Minneapolis, Des Moines, Kansas City, and Philadelphia. Parts of North Carolina that were devastated by Hurricane Helene will feel the dip in temperature with freezing or near freezing temps through midweek.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee.
And let's talk about the weather here. We had a nice warm day. We hit 80 degrees in the Tri-Cities, but we have a big change coming. Much cooler temperatures headed our way. Still a nice night, though, 68 degrees. Clear skies, winds light at 6 miles per hour. Our sunset at 6:11. Here's the weather pattern for tomorrow. It's an upper level low pointed right at the Pacific Northwest, Washington State, Portland area, and then some of those showers sliding over to the east side of the state. When is our best chances for showers tomorrow? Ellensburg sometime after 2 in the afternoon, Yakima around 4 p.m. later in the evening for Tri-Cities, Hermiston, and Walla Walla. Here's Futurecast. Let's take a look at that. Here comes those clouds, and then you'll start to see those showers moving over the Cascades again early in the afternoon down the Ellensburg area to the Yakima Valley, Lower Valley, and then sometime after 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening, you'll see it starting to hit Tri-Cities and eventually into Walla Walla. Let's take a look at this blue. Yeah, we're seeing some snow. Substantial snowfall is possible here in the next couple of days, mainly in the northern Cascades, which could impact Stevens Pass area specifically. We're talking about an 80% chance of seeing over 2 inches of snow. That's at that 4,000-foot mark. Battle Mountain, Summit, and White Pass, 4,500, seeing some snow showers there, as well as Cabbage Hill, Meacham, and Ukiah. Snow could fall at the 3,500-foot mark, and then Battle Mountain and White Pass also could see more snow on Friday. So first substantial snowfall of the season. Increasing clouds, cool, very light winds tonight. We're mostly in the 40s and 50s through the area. 50 for Walla Walla, 49 in Hermiston, 50 tonight in Yakima. For tomorrow, partly sunny, warm with those afternoon showers coming in, but still we're dropping down 7 or 8 degrees for most of our area compared to where we were today. So get ready, get the umbrella and the rain gear and the coats out because we've got chilly weather weather on the way. Look at these overnight lows Wednesday and Thursday down to the freezing level in Yakima, plus breezy winds for both Wednesday and Thursday. Mainly we'll see those breezier winds between Wednesday and Thursday night as that cold front moves through the area. Temperatures in the 50s, eventually 60s, and we stay down in the 60s all the way through the weekend. Here's Ellensburg, gusty, windy, chilly. We see temperatures below the freezing level there Thursday night. Tri-Cities looking good. We're getting close to the freezing level here at 34 degrees, gusty winds with 60 and 70% chances of rain. So pretty good rainfall. That will help with a couple of those wildfires still burning in the area. That should hopefully put things out, especially that fire burning just outside of Walla Walla with those rain chances at 80 and 90% on Wednesday and Thursday with those chilly overnight lows. Here's Hermiston, 70s tomorrow. Enjoy it. It's going to be gone, and those showers kicking in later in the day. Gusty, breezy winds with chilly temperatures down in the 30s. Thursday night into Friday. So there you go, Austin. It's going to be chilly, cold. I think finally, can I say the 80s are gone?
Yeah, I think
keep
so.
saying that, and then they,
I know, and then they come back out of nowhere. So
anyway.
All right, thanks so much. Still ahead on Apple Valley News Now in prime time, a local program offering support to students with complex needs. Details when we come back with the Art Beat.
There was a time when you could get a complete meal for just $5, but you gotta go way back. Well, just a Tuesday. Yes, Tuesdays at A&W, single Papa Burger combos complete with fries and a root beer cost just $5. This all-time great deal is available Tuesdays only at A&W.
Apples are the pride of Washington's agricultural economy. When India put on the retaliatory tariff, we were basically dead in the market. Thanks to Maria Cantwell stepping in and getting that tariff removed, we're up to 2 million boxes and we're climbing steadily. It's a huge difference for the industry. Maria Cantwell is effective because she works with both parties to get things done for our industry.
I'm Maria Cantwell, and I approve this message because I'll keep taking on powerful interests to get things done.
Democrat candidate Maria Beltran led a liberal Seattle group that tried to defund police and allowed chaos and violence to take over the streets. Like Beltran, House candidates Anna Kennedy and Chelsea Demas oppose initiatives that would lower gas prices, end the capital income tax, and allow you to opt out of the expensive long-term care tax. Seattle liberals Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas do not share your values and are too extreme for Central Washington.
Fall into $140,000 in cash and prizes this autumn at Wild Horse Resort and Casino. We're giving away up to $13,000 in cash and prizes every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Then fall into $10,000 cash during the semi-grand prize drawing on Saturday, October 26th. Keep playing in November for your chance to drive away in a brand new Kia Telluride on November 23rd. Jumpstart your fall at Wild Horse Resort and Casino. More winners, more often.
Give snow the boot with the new Husqvarna snowblower from Liberty Lawn and Saw. Built for reliable performance year after year, Husqvarna snowblowers are easy to use on those cold winter days. Work smarter, not harder, with features like electric start and remote shoot rotator. Plus, Husqvarna snowblowers offer a 5-year warranty, 5 on the engine and 5 years guaranteed to start. So blow winter away this year. See the complete line of Husqvarna snowblowers at Liberty Lawn and Saw in West Richland.
For 17 years, Senator Curtis King has delivered for you. That's why the media calls Curtis King the Republican in Olympia most likely to pass a bill. Senator King uses those relationships to do things like fund a new swimming pool in Yakima's MLK Park and helped Heritage University in the Lower Valley grow. Curtis King helped Toppenish Astria Hospital keep their doors open. And he delivered funding for Pasco's Lewis Street project.
I'm Curtis King, and I'd appreciate your vote.
KFC's fan favorite country fried steak is just $5.99 every Wednesday. It's a complete meal with your favorite sides. Best of all, it's just $5.99. Country fried steak, $5.99, Wednesdays only at KFC.
Welcome back. We have an Art Beat report for you. ESD 123 program now offering support to students with complex needs and the teachers who work with them through artistry and different art forms in the classroom. The Dream Building Education Foundation has been awarded a $10,000 grant to support ESD 123's artful response to a tiered support program by STCU. This is the second year that the arts program is being offered this. Kate, through 12 programs around the 23 school districts ESD 123 serves, as well as all the ECAP programs served in the region actually benefit from this program. District officials say all the activities they do connect with each grade level's standards of learning.
In the early learning, we apply them to the same standards that we use in teaching strategies. So we're always aligning the activity with social emotional learning, appropriate fine motor skills for that age group, and then with the upper grades, just appropriate expressions. Could be in writing, and the arts isn't just visual arts, it's everything from dance, theater, music, things like that.
Since August of 2024, the arts program has helped reach 406 educators, 100 administrators, 67 community practitioners, 59 families, and 470 students. Still ahead on Apple Valley News Now in prime time. We're going to take a look at some entertainment headlines, plus look at our forecast one more time.
Right, the bottom line of your weather forecast is coming up.
All right, as we leave you to break, here's a live picture from Yakima. Stay with us.
Kraken, Predators, pregame at 4:30 p.m. Tuesday on Apple Valley News Now.
For 17 years, Senator Curtis King has delivered for you. That's why the media calls Curtis King the Republican in Olympia most likely to pass a bill. Senator King helped fund the Sozo Soccer Complex, giving local youth and adult soccer players a world-class recreational facility. Curtis King helped Perry Tech expand, providing thousands of local students with real-world skills, and he delivered funding for dozens of local road projects.
I'm Curtis King, and I'd appreciate your vote.
I had surgery as a child that I barely remember. But decades later, the insurance company called that a pre-existing condition and denied me long-term care insurance. Washington State created a long-term care benefit to help millions of people like me afford the care we need. But I-2124 will take that benefit away, leaving millions with no way to get or afford long-term care. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. That's why we all have to vote no on I-2124.
This holiday season, believe in the magic of the North Pole. As you set sail for a holiday adventure like no other, marvel over the stunning light display along the magical journey to meet Santa. Experience the magic that only happens on Lake Coeur d'Alene. Even the Grinch can't resist the holiday cheer. Book during Santa's Sneak Peek Week and enjoy 25% off tickets from November 15th to November 27th and discover the magic of the holiday season.
Women, were you exposed to dactyl while you were pregnant? Infant birth defects are caused by this toxic weed killer used in farming, landscaping, and gardening. As a result, the EPA has asked agricultural workers to stop using dactyl, also known as DCPA. If you or your child was injured by dactyl, protect your rights for compensation. Call Whites and Luxembourg today at 917-LAWYERS to learn more. That's 917-LAWYERS.
Liberal Democrats Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas support even no questions asked late-term abortions. They oppose measures that would lower taxes, make gas cheaper, and let you take home more of your paycheck. They would make your streets less safe, raise your gas prices, and encourage your children to disrespect faith, family, and America. Seattle liberals Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas do not share your values and are too extreme for Central Washington.
Jared Sessler's radical tax plan would make everything cost more.
Sessler backs a 30% sales tax on everything you buy.
And Sessler wants taxes and fees to make meat and other foods even more expensive.
Now we've learned that at the height of the border crisis,
Jared Sessler wanted to defund the Border Patrol.
Higher taxes and a weaker border, that's Jared Sessler.
More expensive for you,
less safe for all of us.
Unacceptable for Central Washington.
I'm Dan Newhouse, and I approve this message.
Thank you for making Apple Valley News Now's Good Morning Northwest and ABC's Good Morning America the most watched morning news on local TV.
Now that's good.
What's new, what's now, and what's next, plus first alert weather every 10 minutes. Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
You tell lies, you gamble, and yet you never seem to pay a price for any of it.
When you're cute like me, rules are just a little different.
He's the funniest young genius around.
People talk about me behind my back, but it's about how smart I am.
Young Sheldon, tonight at 11:05 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back, everybody. Starbucks is cutting back on promotional offers through its mobile app to get customers to pay full price for its beverages.
It's part of the new CEO strategy to reposition Starbucks as a premium brand. The move will also reduce the strain on employees who get flooded with work when promotions are advertised. In September, the coffee giant offered extra loyalty points on Tuesday and deals on certain drink purchases on Saturdays. There won't be any broad holiday offerings this season, as the company instead plans to promote seasonal drinks through advertising.
Well, you brought this up to me earlier. Country singer Brantley Gilbert had to pause his concert when his wife went into labor.
Listen to this story. Gilbert's set was just getting started on Friday in Tupelo, Mississippi, when he was pulled away for an emergency backstage. Turns out his wife Amber was on his tour bus giving birth to their third child. The singer posted a video to Instagram featuring the wife and newborn, called it the craziest night of his life. After sharing the news with family, Gilbert went back on stage and finished up the concert.
Like a true pro.
Went off, delivered the baby, and came back on stage. Gotta love it.
I don't think I could have done that. That's crazy. All right, well, hey, do we have a viewer photo of the day?
That's right, viewer photo of the day. Let's check it out. Nice one here. Some of those last flowers we're going to be seeing of the season. We're going to start seeing those chilly temperatures again. Thanks, Peggy from Yakima, for the Terrace Heights photo of, I don't know what kind of flower that is, but it's gorgeous. So good job on that. That QR code on the right side of your screen or applevalleyNewsNow.com. Let's check out the bottom line on your weather. Clear and calm tonight. It was a beautiful day today. We're going to get ready for some widespread showers coming to the area, along with some gusty winds and a big cool down midweek. Planning your day tomorrow, look for maybe a little bit of fog developing, especially in the Tri-Cities along the Columbia River. A lot of people out fishing early, and there is a lot of fog lingering around the river. 40s and 50s to start, 60s by midday, and low 70s for some of us, and only getting up to 67 in Yakima. So enjoy that and be safe out there and get ready for the cool, wet weather on the way.
Well, thanks for joining us here in Prime Time. I'm Austin Reed with Stacey Lee. Hoping your news is good news. We'll be back with an update at 11. See you then.
Have a good night.